That's right. Christmas music before Christmas and before Thanksgiving. Oh, it's fantastic.
You're wild.
I don't know if it's because me and Jordan are both like music people, like we come from music backgrounds, but sometimes it's hard to decipher what song Adam's playing, and I think it's also because you're playing on a kazoo, and I have the same problem when Jordan's playing it too. I'm just like,
I think that was pretty accurate. Thank you.
No, I got that one. Chat, if you didn't get that one, get in the comments and let us know which one you thought it was if you got it wrong.
I'm just saying. We'll say it after you've talked about your week.
You ready for the podcast right now? You're like, I got some tea.
I also just, my throat hurts, so I'm like, let me give Adam a reason to talk real quick while I just.
Damn. So hi everybody, welcome to the Daily Kazoo. As always, Jay Phrygian. I know we're a dad, isn't that something? Does that make you daddy?
Shut up. Anyway,
okay.
Moving on.
I knew Jacob got that.
You got past it, and I was like, wow, we're done calling him daddy, and then
no, we're not. It's Jay Phrygian, King Von Schweetz, the official Megs. As always, we are here to talk about all sorts of different entertainment stuff, usually nerdy stuff, but sometimes we get into other movie things. But first off, we're doing the best thing I've seen all week, and actually, it's something I literally saw. It is Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I got invited out to the premiere of it. It was dope. It's the only premiere they're doing as well. Bro, why are you? It's grainy.
They got this man's ear cut off.
Yeah, they cut my they Van Gogh'd the shit out of my right
side. Adam, did you try to show up to that place looking like George Clooney's Bruce Wayne? Because
hey, actually funny, real funny, right? There's a photo of me and Jay Stoops together, and it gives off very much Catwoman, Bruce Wayne, and I even said it to her, and she goes, "Oh my god, it does." But yeah, shout out to Express, by the way. Thanks for the fit. Yeah, so it was fantastic. It is a story of saving Christmas, which usually is every holiday movie, but this one, it will tell everybody it is a Drax and Mantis movie, more of a Mantis movie, which is fantastic because we really didn't get a lot of Mantis stuff originally.
Because I was just listening to someone talk about how Mantis seems like one of those characters that they didn't know what to do with her. Because like she just always because people were talking about like M'Baku is kind of the same way as like it just feels like it's someone you want to see more of, but we only really see him for little snippets. To continue on, sorry.
Yeah, no. So it is. It's it vomits holiday spirit. It's great. It is right up my alley of just things I will put on every Christmas from now on.
Without giving away too much, how was Kevin Bacon's part?
Great. Like let's dance. Great. It's yeah, there you go. Me and Kevin actually hung out a little bit, you know. It was good to see each other. It was great. I did get to meet, I didn't get photos because I just don't want to be rude, but I did meet Palm, who plays Mantis, and Sean Gunn, who is also just a gentleman. He was really, really nice. There was a band,
but Sean Gunn used to be my voicemail. Like you would call me and it would go, "Hi, you've reached Jacob's phone. This is Sean Gunn. Leave a message after the beep." It was the most random thing. It was back in like middle of college, but it was just probably one of the most
crazy.
I've ever done.
Bored.
Yeah, no, it's great. Comes out Friday, Disney Plus. Obviously, somebody's gonna be really excited about it because there is a four-legged person in there, maybe. So, I knew you'd be excited. The voice is great.
Only
the voice is hysterical.
I know that in the comics and in pretty much all other media, except for maybe I can't really tell with the Guardians game, but all of the media, Cosmo is a dog, or Cosmo is a male dog. In this one, obviously it's a female. But does Cosmo have a Russian accent?
Tune in Friday.
Oh, fuck. If Cosmo does not have Russian accent has you.
Listen here, drink my Canada Dry and leave that comment alone. And tell you, tune in Friday. Comes Friday, 3 a.m. obviously, but Friday we'll get to watch it. Everyone, right after Thanksgiving, you
on a Friday.
Full. Yeah, it comes out this Friday. A little full. You get to sit there and have a little holiday spirit.
Speaking of, before we actually get into it, how's everybody spending the holidays? Everybody excited or doing nothing? What's up?
Oh, sir, you first.
Y'all remember Christmas with the Cranks?
Oh, is that how it's about to be in Texas?
Yeah,
with you?
we haven't had our honeymoon yet. So me and Julie are heading up Jamaica, Cozumel, and Grand Cayman here in
Wait, on Carnival? On Carnival?
on Disney.
Oh, I did the same cruise, but on Carnival when I was in high school.
I would say we're a Disney family in this household. So even though sometimes we hate what the company does and represents, we do love their products. Yeah, we're hitting that up. And Thanksgiving, we're hitting up a friend's house because her family's far away and my family's kind of toxic. And and then once Christmas comes around, I don't really remember what we're doing for Christmas, but we're going to be hanging around Texas. And right now, Texas has got the perfect weather for the holidays. It's freezing cold.
About 3 hours north of me, got 7 feet of snow yesterday.
Dang.
Shoot.
Poor Buffalo. Buffalo got land blasted.
Meanwhile, this guy be like, Jersey not that bad. I'm like, it's cold.
LA ain't bad either. Anyways,
I don't have sweet tea either. Either of those.
You do here. A lot of places have it,
but not real sweet tea.
No, you
got water with a one tea bag thrown in. And
actually, the water here looks just like the tea, and it's questionable whether it is the tea or just the water.
Hey, hold on now. Wait a minute.
Just saying. But moving on, it was fire event. It was dope. They had live music. The live band did play Adam Sandler Hanukkah song. It was fantastic. It was great. I love that. I love the Hanukkah song. It was good. Good food, good friends. It was nice time.
Food? What kind of food?
Little like burgers and other stuff. I didn't really eat much. But their drinks were good. The drinks were fantastic. They had a Groot inspired drink and a Drax Yelf.
Yelf.
I tell you right now, Jacob, because you're a bourbon whiskey guy, right?
Yeah.
That Groot drink would have been phenomenal for you.
Oh.
It was so good. So good. Comics. Jacob.
So, actually, I'm talking on comics real quick first. Yeah. This week, I actually I've started on a new endeavor. I also should probably get back to the old endeavor, but it's okay. I was reading 2015 Secret Wars, and then that kind of fell to the wayside. And then I opened up Marvel Unlimited and was like, I could keep reading Secret Wars, or I could start Miles Morales 2018. So I started Miles Morales 2018. It's pretty cool. I haven't gotten through the first issue yet just because I'd be reading like 5 pages and then I'd be like, bedtime.
Damn.
But it is interesting. This rendition has Aaron Davis as Iron Spider, not as Prowler. So I'm excited to see the differences. We also have an older Miles, like he's been Spider-Man since he was 13 and like now he's in high school. So it's been a couple years. So I'm excited. I'm excited to delve into it, especially with Across the Spider-Verse coming out.
And don't forget, they do have an Old Man Miles comic and stuff. That one's
they got that. Decent. They got the What If. I was like, there's too many options. I just picked somewhere and I'm just like, I'm gonna start here.
You're like,
Miles has like a whole line of What If comics now. I like can't keep up with it, but it's like, what if
like
Miles
him as Captain
America, and what if Miles Morales? I'm like, jeez.
Jacob's favorite is what if they let Miles Morales have his own fucking villains.
Yeah.
Was there anything else in comics you had real quick, Jacob?
No, the only other thing I wanted to add was if you listen to the podcast as your only homework assignment that we'll probably ever give you, just walk into a comic book store. Leave your wallet at home if you don't have any money or if you're afraid of spending money, but just go to one. Like, I promise there's one within an hour drive from you, and it's worth every bit of the drive. Like, I think my closest comic book store right now is Austin, Texas, and that's about an hour away. And I will drive it. I will go.
I bet you there's one closer. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, I mean there probably is, but the only one that I know of off the top of my head is Austin. And honestly, it's going to be hard to beat Austin's because Austin has 3 all within one area. Anyway, point is, if you listen to the podcast, if you watch the podcast, just hit up a comic book store just one time within the next like 2 or 3 weeks before New Year's.
Yeah.
Just go once. You don't have to spend anything. Just go. Ask questions. Like, look for your favorite character. Just be a kid in a toy store, because I feel like comic book stores are taking hard hits lately, and
Well, digital and everything, yeah.
Yeah, and the movies and shows are great, and they support the comic books a little bit, but it's not enough to keep the medium alive forever. And we need people that are interested in the stories of old and the new, to continue comic books for our children and our grandchildren. And yeah, if you don't go to a comic book store, think of it this way: your grandkids may never see one.
Yeah.
So how dare you?
Yeah.
Don't make that claim.
Right for it. He went right for it.
So that's all I want to say about comic books. Is I, as someone who loves them a lot, I just want that to be a possibility for everybody for all years to come. You don't have to buy a bunch. Even just buying like some of the stupid keychains that they sell still supports the comic book stores. So,
especially since like a lot of our favorites and everything that were the origins for all of this, even as far as like not just creators like Stan Lee, but I mean the writers, artists, and everything, they're getting older, man. They won't be here forever.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Support that legacy.
All right, Jordan, time for some gaming.
Let's get into gaming. So, not a ton. Nothing really new and big released. But we did have announcements for the Gamer Awards, and what's really interesting is a lot of people are like, first of all, why is Uncharted on the list for best adaptations at the 2022 Game Awards? Just as far as next to things like Arcane, which people are like, this is a shoe in to win. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which whether you feel anything about the game or not, people have said that that show got people back into playing the game, which is wild to think about. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which was great, but up against things like Arcane, like up against shows, it's probably going to have a hard time. It was very interesting to me that that was there. We also got, unfortunately, some snubs. These are the 5 up for Content Creator of the Year, and I want you guys to just take a look at the nominees real quick.
Did you do sound or no sound?
It's there. Sorry, I just didn't unmute. God dang it, turn it up.
Of the Year are Carl Jacobs, Ludwig, Nebelian, Nobrew, and QT Cinderella. Vote right now at thegameawards.com.
They got one woman in there.
Mm-hmm.
And sounds about white.
Yeah.
Like the thing that is just so interesting about this is last year there were some people who were like, can we talk about how, like, literally, for example, he's not the biggest streamer, but the Black Hokage went from, completely independent for 15 years, YouTube, Twitch for like 8 years, to being on television with G4 TV, which of course is closed now. So, in retrospect, that's like, but at the time it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And they were like, how is he not up for a nomination? He was just like, I'm usually out of the popularity contest talk. This year, though, Kai Cenat is literally the most popular and subscribed to streamer right now on Twitch. He literally, the biggest Twitch streamer. He literally has the most recorded subs ever. He's been doing collaborations like on a daily basis, maybe not daily, but multiple times. He had Lil Nas X on his stream a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm. He's had 21 Savage on his streams. I mean, he's literally changed the game as far as like just the heights you can reach on Twitch. And people are very upset. They're like, yo, it's one thing when like Corey Kenshin's always snubbed, people from RDC World are so big as they are. But for Kai Cenat to literally be the most successful streamer on Twitch and he's not even in the conversation.
Yeah.
It's insane, bro. It's just weird.
I think it's like partially we live in a post, and this sounds funny, but we live in a post Ninja world. And like when Ninja first became huge, like huge back in like, I don't know, 2017-ish. It became this thing of just like the only streamer that I feel was really being talked about was Ninja, and then his little, horde of friends like Tim the Tatman and Courage JD and Cypher, whoever else. But it becomes one of those things of just like, you can't give you can't give all the awards to one person just because they're doing all the groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, from what it sounds like, again, I'm not a huge I don't watch a whole bunch of streamers. I kind of just have my 2 that I follow, and that's it. But from what it sounds like, Black Hokage and the other person you named, Kai
Sinat.
That's
how you say.
I mean, it sounds like they're doing pretty groundbreaking stuff that nobody's really tried and done before. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that is that's the future of streaming, and that's the future of everything, is just trying to do new things that aren't problematic and just finding new ways to do things. And
well, you even brought up Tim, who I love. I watch him daily if I can. When Warzone went live last week, he had almost 90,000 people watching him. It was the most anybody was watching anybody.
Jacob's like, can I just get one
Ludwig? Yeah, he didn't have it. They didn't have it. None of them had it. So whatever. And then you talk about groundbreaking. Ninja technically still is doing groundbreaking thing. He cut ties with Twitch completely, and now he's like a free agent doing his own thing. He streams every day on all the platforms, everything, every single day.
What I said was no shade to Ninja. Ninja is literally one of the biggest trailblazers for streaming, and that's nothing against him. I'm just saying we can easily fall back into a pit of this person is at the peak of everyone's topics when it comes to streaming or when it comes to whatever else, and we fall into this pit of, we'll give them all the awards then.
It ends up being I know YouTube won't get it. It becomes a LeBron conversation for me. It's they continuously are at this level of greatness that when they're down from that greatness and just kind of doing above normal things that normal people can't do, they're they fell off. What? They're just not doing godlike things. Like Jordan said, there's 2 streamers right there who literally every day absolutely crush, and no awards, no nothing.
It also is just, again, I don't want to even say, because diversity, whatever. No, because sometimes corporations get diversity for diversity's sake, and that's annoying too. But it is the fact that there are other streamers who are doing more innovative things. Some of these people, it's just you just stream to a lot of people every day, and a lot of people you go viral a lot on different stuff. I mean, Kai Sinat literally has over 100 current recurring subs to his channel right now, which is the most ever achieved on Twitch. Yeah. And I mean, again,
and I can't stand Aiden, but same thing. Aiden just streams every day does nothing, has random conversations, but tons of people watching and tons of people subscribing and stuff. So
it's just weird. Again, it's just weird because and I won't say for example, Ludwig is great too. He literally started another YouTube channel in secret, blew it up, Mogul Mail, and now he just started an agency. So some of them are doing great things. It's just one of those things where it's everybody on this panel looks the exact same, and it's also some of the same people who always get nominated for stuff. So,
I heard they're all playing the same game right now, Caucasus Mountain.
All right, moving on from gaming.
Audacity to them. All right, so gaming awards, you did all the things you needed to do. Side section.
Sorry, before we move completely on from gaming, I know y'all probably talked about it last week, but I just started playing God of War, and holy shit.
We did. We did.
Actually, I just want to say that I'm having a whole lot of fun, and at the same time, I feel bad because I feel like I'm cheating on one game, because Gotham Knights really does deserve some praise because it was getting trashed for so long. But Jordan and I will hit that back up as soon as we're done with God of War, because God of War,
it's one of those things we were
I'm not gonna lie, so far I'm so shocked.
That was another thing. I'm glad you actually kept us in gaming for a quick second. First of all, we were talking the other day, we were we should get back on Gotham Knights, but every time I get on, I'm gonna play God of War. But the other thing in the Game Awards, the divisive subject, and I would love to know in the comments below. I'm going to clip this out and make a video too. Gamer Awards, the biggest divisive subject. What's getting Game of the Year? Elden Ring or God of War?
God of War.
I think it's an interesting conversation because here's my thing. I think if God of War wins, and this is probably a hot take, at least with y'all, I think if God of War wins, we see a similar situation as The Last of Us Part 2 winning over Ghost of Tsushima last year, where Elden Ring was the new property, the innovation. It really hopped on and had everybody behind it. But I think if God of War wins, it's because it stands on the back of having the God of War franchise.
So here's my take on that. It's not a hot take. I don't think so. But my statement is, if they came at the same time, God of War still would have crushed it. And I get the franchise-ness of it, but to me, Elden Rings almost became like a joke at the end of it. You know what I mean? Where they were doing the different skins and different things in it and all that kind of stuff, and everybody was putting all sorts of crap in it. It just became like a memeable thing, where God of War is like, it is, let's make that clear. Hold on. It is God of War. It is.
Elden Ring got 10 out of 10s, though.
Yeah. It can get 10. That's cool. No, it's not going to have Game of the Year award.
I think that brings up kind of a topic that we do talk about a lot here, which is the whole can companies just create their own like new thing and not continually build up a franchise over and over and over again? And that kind of bleeds into something I'll talk about in once we get to TV and movies. But it's just one of those things of just like, if God of War 2 gets the award, I really, really, really hope that that doesn't tell game companies, okay, we just need to build on the current and not create any new. Because God of War, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't God of War 2018 win Game of the Year?
Yeah.
I don't know. You
I want to
be
say
correct.
it did.
God of War. God of War. Keep talking.
It was either that or Spider-Man, or I'm trying to think what else came out that year. But
it's so weird to me because stuff will have Game of the Year editions even if they didn't like win. Yeah, God of War
nominated, so they're like, hey.
Well,
God of War was awarded Game of the Year over Red Dead Redemption 2.
So I mean, that's
old
one
franchises.
thing of just like, I don't want, because even back in 2018, God of War was not a new franchise,
but it was a return. You know,
it was a return, yeah. And obviously, like, the return was way better than the original 3, even though the original 3 slapped. But yeah, I just don't want companies thinking every time a Game of the Year award comes out that it's only being given to games that are already established in some sort of long franchise.
I don't know if it's established IPs. What I think it sometimes falls into is the same thing I think some of us all think and don't talk about a lot, is like the Grammys or the Oscars. I mean, where this movie was the big movie that came out now, like the last 4 months, whereas Everything Everywhere All at Once came out earlier in the year, should win Best Movie. I think it's fantastic. But is anyone talking about it? No, because it happened in like January, February. Like,
so you're saying there's a bit of recency high to it, even with Game Awards. Okay.
You know what I mean?
True.
It's like everyone's sitting there going, "Oh, the shawarma is so good," but they're like, "That noodle spot back in the day was like so much better." But this is what I'm on right now.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be an interesting conversation because Elden Ring, because I know that you're saying like, oh, it became like kind of a joke, but like that kind of screams to the popularity of it, right? Like, here's the thing. Here's where the divide that I see. God of War story is probably what it rides off of. Elden Ring rides off of new and innovative, but let's be honest, people were just fighting hard-ass bosses. How many people were actually paying attention to the lore of Elden Ring? But I think the memeability and the rage quits and all types of stuff, how it, like, everybody was on that game, even if they weren't into Soulsborne types of games.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things that it was kind of a hidden treasure. Like, nobody expected it to like really bust through into like general popularity like it did. So
have you guys seen where they want God of War to go next? Since this is like the end of the of those gods, you know, the
I don't want to know because I want to finish the game.
Somebody said that they wanted to go to Christianity now.
Oh, I did see that. I think we put it up, Jacob. We put it up on the last podcast episode. Someone was like, "I want to see Kratos like Jesus next."
That's just so funny. I think I did see that, and I was just like, wow, people play too much.
Hey, you know, if the internet gonna do one thing.
A boss battle now, Moses and Kratos. Damn.
Do we play Lucifer though? Yo. No, I think that PlayStation Santa Monica would get canceled. They'd be like, y'all got us killing God.
Yeah, if Warrior Nuns and Netflix can do this, I'm just saying we could do it.
We could. They would.
Moving on though, kind of a sad thing, very sad. I don't know if anyone saw about this Chris Hemsworth, the Limitless premiere that happened the other day, and it broke that Chris apparently got news that he has two genes from one from his mother, one from his father, that give him like a almost 8 to 9%, 80 to 90% more or something like that, of him having Alzheimer's, and he's going to take away from film and stuff like that for a little bit. He's going to take a hiatus after what he's doing right now. So he is, it really got to him. And I tell you what, it's scary. That's a scary thought, to be like, you're more inapt to do the, you know, have Alzheimer's, and you're going to forget your wife and your kids and the life you led and stuff.
It wasn't like some like 15% chance higher, 20%. The guy was like, when he said 8 to 10, I was waiting to hear percent. And he said 8 to 10 times.
Yep, 8 to 10 times more likely.
I was just like,
now let's make it clear, it's not a guaranteed he's going to get it. It's just one of those.
It's one of those things where it's just like the reality that it's so much more likely. He was just like, yo, I got to spend time with my kids and my wife.
Yeah.
He was like forgetting this life that I created. I mean, being outside of being Thor, think about how many he was very much like Chris Evans, where even though he was in the MCU, he was still booking like other roles outside of it. So I mean, it's just a very established career to have built.
His wife has a decent career as well. Like, she's well known. The kids are adorable. So like, just spend some time in Australia and hang out and make some memories and have that, you know, because I mean, God, could you imagine like waking up every day not knowing the face that you
have been next to
and or the kids that you birth, like not you birth, but that, you know, you give life to and stuff. Like, that's crazy. That's what you're saying, and I just wish the best for him. You know, hope everything turns out fine. But
it also makes me like wish even more that like the last Thor movie was just his last one. Like, I get why they left it open, but it is one of those things where it's like, man already it's probably one of those things too where, like, you know, you look at it and you're like, man deserved a break, but now it's like, nah, he got to take a break. Like,
as a weird segue, because that's just like heartbreaking, and I had not heard that, so that's terrible. Continuing on with the side section, while kind of fading into movies and TV, Santa Clauses came out this past week, which is technically the 4th installment, but it's a series of the Santa Claus, which is the, you know, early
Tim Allen
90s Tim Allen Santa Claus franchise. Boy, is it rough.
I've heard not great things.
I don't know if either of y'all have started it or not, but I just watched only the first episode, and I just got to say they probably gave Tim Allen a little bit too much freedom.
I've heard that. I have heard
this. It was just, there was at least 2 or 3 moments of, and it's an actual line, but I can't even say Merry Christmas to all anymore. And I'm just like, like when that came on, I was like, homie, your religion and your beliefs are not the only religion and beliefs. Like, Jesus, like,
well, you gotta look. He's very
hard for fucking white old men to understand that you are not the only person on the face of the planet.
Look at the IP he just came from, right? Like Last Man Standing, which I enjoyed somewhat in the beginning, and then it got a little worse, and then it got way worse.
It's
and then
no hate to Tim Allen
Yeah.
because, Guy is really talented. And, this isn't something to cancel him over because it's something that he just needs to learn and grow from.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like, it as someone who probably within his top 20 favorite films of all time will put the first Santa Claus in, this is just so disappointing. Like, because I truly believe that as the movies went on, the second one I believe was almost as good as the first. The third one was garbage. And then now we have this fourth installment and it's just like, oh, cranky old Santa. And that's what it feels like. It just feels like Tim Allen's just trying to make some weird statement. And they're already seeing it in the reviews and the amount of views that they're getting is not even close to what they thought. And it's sad, but at the same time, kind of moving into a different area, it kind of didn't seem like it was going to do that well because the only three returning actors were going to be Tim Allen, the woman who plays Carol or Mrs. Claus, and then Bernard from the first Santa Claus film. But a lot of people were like, how are you going to have this series without Charlie? Because Charlie was like the heart of 1, 2, and 3. And even Lucy, who was kind of more the heart of 3. And neither of those actors are coming back. So it's just like, I don't know. It was disappointing to hear about. But now that the show is actually out, only watching one episode, God,
this man said, I ain't got no faith. I got one episode.
It's one of those things where it's like, and I know we said this to other people back when She-Hulk was out, but it's just like, well, then stop watching it. Well, Santa Claus, the first Santa Claus is one of my favorite films, so it's hard. It's like if they came out with a Back to the Future TV show nowadays. I'm going to watch the whole thing front to end. Am I going to like it? Probably not. So it's one of those things of just like, you can't talk about something unless you've actually seen it all. And I don't want to continue watching this show, but at the same time, maybe it can redeem itself in some ways. But
probably not.
I will say this, the one thing that's pretty funny about the show actually is it presents itself at least with, it has like an opening, like I wouldn't say theme song, but it has like an opening little
monologue.
No, it has an opening little, just like little blurb that, or not no one talks, no one sings.
Oh,
it's
like an opening jingle.
Music. It's kind of like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It really is just like that. It plays like a little bit of music.
You're on my wavelength.
Shows one of their faces, and then it just says the Santa Clauses, and it makes it look like it's a reality show about being Santa Claus, but the show is nothing like that. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of funny in that way. I don't know. The show is just really interesting, but Tim Allen he's wrecked it a little bit.
I tell you what, it's interesting to watch Disney Plus, kind of like to piggyback what you're talking about. Juju was talking about how, like, remember back in the day when we were younger and we get sequels, but they were straight to VHS.
No,
and like
Aladdin, Return of Jafar.
So he brought up like Lady and the Tramp, some other ones minus Lion King 2. We all thought that was great.
Lion King 2 is good.
Everyone watch your mouth. But now is Disney Plus that it? Because now we're getting Enchanted 2, Hocus Pocus 2. Apparently, it's in my notes. I didn't put it up here, but Princess Diary 3 is in the works now at Disney. There's a rumor about a Freaky Friday 2 with both of them. So like, I get the IP rush of things, because like back in the day, networks were trying to get TV shows and things like that. But now, like I've talked about, streaming apps are participation trophies for everybody. Like, are we need so much content that we're just bringing things back to bring them back? Or
that's what I'm saying. And like, it goes what Jacob just said earlier. Like, the Santa Claus was not something you even need to, like, we don't need it. Like, nobody asked for this shit. Continue what you was gonna say, Jacob. It just bothers me.
This is one of those things though, too, because Disney, I really feel like Disney Plus was a brilliant idea from whoever created the idea of it. But it's been this thing of, and I'll be the first to say it, Phase 4 has not been good. Phase 4 has not been as good as the other three. Sorry, I just dropped my headset. Phase 4 has not been as good as the other three phases, and that's just my opinion. And I think a lot of that is, one, it feels rushed because we have a new project after every other project. And two, a large portion of Phase 4, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, other than maybe 3 movies, have all been on Disney Plus. And it just feels, I don't know, it just, to me, it feels like it's just too, it's definitely more than 3 movies. I don't know why I said that. It's like 6 or 7. But a lot of it has been on Disney Plus. And to be fair, other than Obi-Wan, Andor, and if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan like myself, like Bad Batch and Clone Wars Season 7, Marvel's kind of the thing that's keeping a lot of subscribers on Disney Plus. And you can make the face all you want. But like,
it was more of the I was thinking about it type thing, and it was just kind of like,
No, I kind of feel Jacob in the sense that I've said this before, and I still believe it, even though I've liked a lot of Phase 4. The quantity it's too much.
It takes away from the quality. It does.
It is too much. Like, well, I mean, She-Hulk made a literal joke about it. The effects team had to work on something else. It's like, that's legitimately, like, I know they made a joke, but that's legitimately what they're going through, where like teams are crunched between multiple overlapping projects, and like that's great for like we're eating. But then like when you really think about it, that's why we end up with, well, I don't know about Black Widow. That thing was shelved for a long time, so I don't know why Yelena's explosion scene looked the way that it did. But that's why we have like these really good movies or really good shows that randomly have like that 1 or 2 like wonky looking sections, or the dialogue having like a little bit of a weird thing go on where it's just like, yeah, I was a little confused like why this moment was thrown in here or there. It's just, I think there's just too many fucking projects. That's just how I feel. Like I know where you probably could go, because I know you said it before, Adam. Phase 4 is the Phase 1 of the new saga. It's doing a lot of setting up. It's a lot of introductions. But explain to me how we have things that are so great, like Miss Marvel, for example, and then you just kind of fall short with things like Multiverse of Madness. It's just, you're working on too
Multiverse
much.
of Madness to me was they offered, well, honestly, they offered too much verbally and could not deliver. They were the, and originally we were given Spider-Man No Way Home, which was hit or miss for some people now apparently, but like it's a good movie.
I love the revisionist. Can we talk about how the movie was never that good?
Look, it was the story wholly originally when it came out. Yeah, there was little things about it, but look, it was still a good property. But the problem with what you guys are saying is like, yeah, like we'll fall short on a couple things, but if you look back at like Phase 1, were all those movies great? And now they're trying to build multiple things at once. We're trying to do Galaxy stuff. We're trying to do Eternal stuff. We're trying to do Young Avengers. We're trying to do West Coast Avengers, maybe. We're doing all these different things to set up now where they don't die. It just turns into like Starbucks, basically, where it's like good. And now we have to branch out to do 100 other things. And sometimes it's hit or miss. You know, one Starbucks is still better than the other Starbucks, but it's still Starbucks.
To just take like a small break from Marvel, though, and still stay on topic, I think that Disney Plus is doing a good job. And even though they are just reboots of old franchises, or not even reboots, but just bringing back, I still think that like Hocus Pocus 2 was really good. I liked it a lot. And I think that after watching Disenchanted, I don't think it was as strong as the first one, but I still think it was pretty good. And I think that they need to keep doing not necessarily things that are already based on franchises that are already made, but I think they still need to keep doing things like that. And I think that they are, because they have things like Percy Jackson coming out, eventually.
I can't wait.
And that is an
wait.
already built franchise, but it's not something that Disney's done before, and it's something that gets people on Disney Plus that's outside of Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Disney Plus needs to continue to do, because they kind of, after year one, if you think about it, they kind of stopped, because we had The World According to Jeff Goldblum, and we had a bunch of other shows that were driving people to Disney Plus for Disney and even Nat Geo content. And now we have things that are, it feels like just Marvel and Star Wars is all we're
Well, Nat Geo actually is a great show. I started watching a couple weeks ago, actually, where it's Bear Grylls, and he teaches the celebrities how to survive. And then when they're sleeping, he just goes away and they have to survive for that little bit. So it's just like what he used to do, Man vs. Wild, but he would have your superheroes with you, like Simu Liu, who else? Miss Marvel's there, or Captain Marvel's there, all these different people are with him. And I like it. It's fun. It's fun to put on and just watch and just dumb, mindless TV. But Sam's point with what you said about nostalgia and stuff, look at Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus just brought back Criminal Minds, but only on Paramount Plus. Who cares?
Why?
To wrap it all up, because we have been talking about this for a while, and it's just something that companies are going to continue to do. There are other shows out there that, like the Mysterious Benedict Society, that Marvel has been, I said Marvel, that Disney Plus has been putting out to distract from the Marvel and Star Wars purpose of Disney Plus. And again, that's really all they need to do, is just continue making things like that and not make it so Marvel and Star Wars heavy.
I agree.
Because even if you look at it from a Star Wars standpoint too, this has been a lot of quantity from Star Wars too.
It used to be y'all got some
you literally
shows.
would just get one movie every now and then you would get Clone Wars the series, and that was just an episode per week per season. But now you have multiple shows running almost back to back, where you had Obi-Wan finished, and then a couple months later we have Andor, and then as soon as Andor, I think mid Andor, we have Bad Batch season 2 coming out.
Yep.
And
March is
we had the Studio Ghibli Baby Yoda thing, which
so cute.
I watched it, very odd, but anyway, it's just
it was random.
It's a lot of saturation of things that probably could be good if they were spread out over time, but it just feels really crammed.
I just want to throw it out there, though, on your Star Wars thing. All this IP is made from a IP that everyone fucking hated, the prequels. So I just when we start making sequel properties, I want everyone to keep the same energy.
I just want to say that as a child of the prequels, those are my Star Wars films, and I liked them as a kid.
I don't hate them.
I wasn't on the internet when I was, a young child, seeing everybody
youngling.
Go, this fucking sucks. I hate this. My MySpace is devoted completely to hating on the prequels. I wasn't there, so the internet's trashing of the prequels.
I do like though how I do like how Star Wars is starting to web out though a little bit more and have these nice little things. But speaking of webs, we're getting a Silk project, and I'm super excited. Silk's my favorite. Insane. I literally have a 9.8 CG Seed Original Sin right here, but it's not with Marvel or Sony technically. It's Prime Video. What a win! Hold on. I got you. There we go. Thank you. I know, right? Crazy. I
guess I misunderstood then. So when it was saying Amazon Prime Video ordered it from Sony, Sony's not doing it though. It's Amazon that's
from what I've been seeing. Yeah, this is Prime. So if you've been looking, even if they were going to do animated, right? Invincible, the boys animated stuff they did, some other projects, they're all good. But you want to talk about actual live action things they're doing? Wheel of Time, Ring of Power, Boys. Then we've got tons of stuff. I can't wait. And this is supposed to be multiple different spin-off things that they're doing with Spider-Man. And don't forget, this is intriguing to me because I'm interested to see what they do with this franchise. Because don't forget they have the James Bond franchise as well. So this could be very interesting, showing like what they do with big IPs. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued anyways. It's Silk. I can't wait. We're finally getting a Silk thing. I'm over this. Ghost Spider Love
has 4 different love interests for one guy, and I'm so excited.
Wait, we're doing a video on me? What?
No,
shut up.
I'm just saying.
It was like, this is not the
comic
Bachelor.
books really do be messing with Peter Parker of saying like, I'm in a long-term committed relationship with Gwen Stacy. Oh, she's dead. She got fridged. I'm in a long-term committed relationship with Mary Jane, but Gwen Stacy still haunts me. And we have Black Cat, and we have Silk. And then you get like added 3 or 4 other characters. Like, golly, this man can't catch a break.
Here's my interesting question, though, to Jordan.
No.
Because Silk is connected to Peter, because she was bit by the same spider as Peter, will we get another Spider-Man in the Prime universe?
Well, that's what I was wondering. Also, is my connection good? It's telling me it's weird. Anyway,
you blow us that for a second. You're good.
Okay. Well, that was the next thing I was going to get into. First of all, who has MGM Plus? Anybody? No.
That's
what I thought. That's what it says. It's releases on MGM Plus and Amazon Prime. But well, so my only thing about this is why I thought it was animated, but I know people talked about it being live action. With it being live action, it was like, oh well. Does that mean Silk doesn't have a role in the Madam Web project? Because, like, people were like, there's obviously going to be more spider people in the Madam Web project. So, I'm just curious.
Silk's one of those property. It just seems weird that nobody wants to touch it for some reason.
Well, but then also you get into like how you just asked, do we get another Spider-Man? If it's live action, God damn it, we don't need another live action Spider-Man.
What if we see Andrew?
Because they're talking about more spin-offs. Don't do this.
I know we're talking about live action, but did you? And I don't even know if y'all talked about it last week. But did y'all hear about the possibly getting shelved of freshman year?
Yes, I did. Which that was another reason why I thought this was animated. I was like, oh, this comes after the news of freshman year getting shelved. So like a new project in animation would probably be good. Also, I will say I did roll my eyes just now at Adam talking about Andrew, but he looked like he's trying to be Spider-Man again.
I'm just saying. Daddy.
MGQ, I was like, maybe 2003 ain't a bad idea.
There's a picture of him online, and I don't know if it was that first one that you just showed. He's like doing this, and like the sun's in his way, and somebody has a gun pointed at the sun and says, "Is this sun bothering you, my king?"
Yeah, I saw that.
That is hysterical.
That's great. Another interesting thing we got this week, rumored, not confirmed, rumored, but it would be interesting. Hyperion and Thunderbolts. That was
Daniel RPK and Grace Randolph are the ones.
Yeah.
As much as I love to hate her, Grace Randolph usually does have some scoops, and Daniel RPK is usually 99.9% of the time correct. So I would not be super shocked if we end up seeing it because it is from reputable sources. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I will say, and I'll agree with Grace Randolph on this, it's going to be really hard to outdo, and I guess we kind of saw this with the Eternals, but it's going to be really hard to outdo the bad Superman look that we've gotten in recent years with not just Homelander, but you had James Gunn's I can't remember the name of the movie, the kid who's like basically a bad Clark.
We just talked about this the other day. I literally gave you the name of the movie.
We've had a couple of them, and then we've also, as I said, in Eternals, we also had Icarus is kind of like a bad Superman kind of character.
Yeah.
Hyperion is definitely way stronger than a lot of these characters, though. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go. But at the same time, look at the lineup that we have for the Thunderbolts. And then think about Superman going against them. Like, doesn't look very good for them. So
it says, as Adam said. Oh, what? Sorry.
I'm interested to see that, but I don't know. I also think other people were talking about the Squadron Supreme being in there, which would be pretty.
Don't forget, Adam Warlock is going to be in Guardians next year. So interesting on the.
We're getting a lot of Marvel's biggest powerhouses that aren't A-list characters, which is interesting.
But if they do this,
like Adam,
this is Suicide Squad and Superman.
That's what I was gonna say. You had said offline, like this is
Mhm.
literally Suicide Squad versus Superman. Like, and also my thing is, one of my mutuals, he had posted, he was like, you cannot convince me that this lineup of the Thunderbolts is really about to go up against Hyperion. And I said, I mean, if it's anything like villains have been throughout Phase 4, he'll just die in the same movie he gets introduced in. Like that's what we've been doing. That's again,
true.
that's another one of those things of like because I've been hearing a lot of people just as far as like Phase 4, you know, it almost feels like Kang's kind of like a red herring. It almost feels like Kang feels like an extended Ultron. Kang feels
Yeah.
like what Ultron was supposed to be, where like Ultron should have maybe been across multiple projects, but they just got rid of him in one. Because it feels like at the end of Kang Dynasty, he's not going to be a thing, and we're gonna move on.
Boy, wouldn't it be interesting though to see Ultron brought back for Wonder Man? That'd be interesting. Back to Jacob's
White
point. Read
Vision been
comics.
gone. He don't know what he's doing.
Right, read comics.
Oh, also, and then just before we move to the next thing, as we were talking about all the quantity and like this evil Superman thing, I saw someone was like, bruh, Vision Quest sounds like a fucking 90s like boomerang cartoon.
I said it sounded just like Johnny Quest.
Yeah, like it's just one of those things. It's like, I don't know what they're doing. I'm just gonna watch it and I'm just gonna enjoy it. But yeah, it is one of those things that I'm like, all right, well, y'all didn't want to copy Aquaman by making Namor Atlantis, but then we're gonna do evil Superman. Like, okay.
I mean, they're not doing the backwards Superman. Bizarro.
Anyway. Yeah. Also, just right before we get out of like Marvel talk, because I realized I titled it this but then didn't put it anywhere. Today, Wakanda Forever officially nailed $500 million at the worldwide box office.
Actually, you'd walked away. Jacob, do you want to tell him?
It's actually already hit 550 million.
Boom.
And that was at the beginning of this podcast. So it's probably already close to 600.
Black people winning.
Damn right.
Black people winning.
Hold on. Goddamn right. What'd he do? Did he literally just take himself out?
My bad. I didn't mean to do that. I said I was trying to take my camera.
Black people winning, and then it makes it look like we kicked him out of the podcast. Right.
Like,
no, that was my bad. I clicked the wrong button.
What are you doing?
No, I was making sure I clicked the right button. Anyway, I'm making myself bigger. Black people. I attribute my personal dress up and get ready to go see the movie to this success. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. It's thanks to me. I advocated for this movie to reach 400 to 500 million. I'll be here all week. Thank you, and rate the show 5 stars. All right, let me not hit the wrong button because I definitely almost just did.
Yeah, watch, he just like ends the podcast out of nowhere. He's just like, oh, we done, bye. Like, that's it.
I have an innate fear of accidentally hitting the end broadcast button while I'm messing with shit, bro.
Anyways, hey, do you guys remember this sound?
Oh, childhood.
Well, Blue's Clues
I couldn't
is back. Blue's Big Adventure. We got a first photo of it. All 3 Steves are in it. It's not baby's first day out, but I guess we'll all watch it on whatever Paramount Plus. It's on Paramount Plus. So I think it comes out next year if I remember. Whatever. I'm gonna watch it, but like moving on. Fast and Furious. Jacob's favorite thing. Oh, Jacob's favorite thing. You know what? Let's go. Hold on. Oh, this is Jacob's favorite thing. Jacob, Fast and Furious budget for this movie, $340 million. And guess what? Super Bowl, the trailer will drop. Thoughts? Thoughts?
If y'all are tuning in and you haven't heard my whole thing, I had just finished watching all of those movies. And they have a little bit of heart to them, but they definitely don't need 10 movies. And they're not going to stop there, so it just needs to stop.
I can't wait.
It
He's so
got
excited.
it got out of pocket when they drove the cars out of the plane. I was like, y'all A-team in this bitch? Like, because like, A-team, they did the tank and it was like, we're not gonna land in the right spot. And it's like, aim the
They
cannon.
start shooting to put, yeah.
Mine
Mine was,
was fire,
Luda.
but for one movie was great.
Luda and
See-
Tyrese in space. Like,
Well, and what gets me about Fast and Furious is just like, I'll never forget when someone was like, who is winning, the Avengers or the Fast and Furious crew? And then someone put the clip of Tyrese. They were like, you're telling me Tyrese is out here. He got pulled out of an ice cold Arctic Ocean onto the hood of a car behind a snowmobile, dodging bullets, shooting people. And when everything stopped, that man ain't have no hypothermia. And he took 2 shots and hit both these dudes who were on moving snowmobiles. And they were like, the Fast and Furious family got it. It's just like, yeah, these movies make no sense anymore.
And
like
Fast 8 or Fast 9, Tyrese says, I don't think we can die. And
Fast
he's
9.
right. They literally can't die.
or Fast 9, the last movie.
Didn't they ask Luda too? He was like, when did you learn how to do all this? And he's just like, just always been good with computers or something like that. It's just like,
yeah,
you went from working a car shop, sir.
He was doing like races in Miami. That was it. Too Fast, Too Furious. I'll be there opening day. I can't wait. I'm super excited. Jason Momoa is in this one too, so my boy's in it. I gotta go support.
Oh my god!
He's playing the second long lost brother of Dominic Toretto, right?
No, so originally I heard. Well, I mean, look, Dwayne doesn't want to be in it anymore. You just get, somebody less money that would do it. There's a new Escape from New York being worked on right now, apparently. We'll see how that goes. I really have nothing to talk about that, to be honest. I just thought it was interesting that they're going to do that. Now, this is interesting to me. Frank Bullitt is an old movie. It's an older movie. Spielberg is working on it right now. It is not going to be a remake. It is a new story to that lineage, very much like James Bondish kind of look. But Bradley Cooper is going to be in it. So excited because I love me some Bradley Cooper.
I do love me some Bradley Cooper. He's right up there with Ryan Reynolds in my celebrity man crushes.
God, that's we might have to do. You know what? Next week.
I know. I'm about to say Bradley Cooper versus
next week. Next week's draft.
Bradley Cooper versus Ryan Reynolds is very interesting because Bradley Cooper is like Ryan Reynolds, except he doesn't feel like he's playing Bradley Cooper in everything he's in.
Yes,
because I love Ryan Reynolds, but that's what everyone says about Ryan Reynolds. It's like it just kind of feels like Ryan Reynolds just plays himself at this point.
Yeah, I agree. So now this I know the three of us can have a good conversation about. Hopefully not too long. We finally got a teaser trailer for Elemental. From Pixar.
Inside Out with Elements,
can
right?
We agree though. We're kind of questioning how they're going to promote this because look at how Disney treated the last 2 Pixar projects.
That honestly, that's kind of funny you said that because as the trailer was ending, and I was surprised that my mind went this way. As the trailer was ending, my first thought was, "Wait, to Disney Plus."
We know it's not, obviously, but if you look at,
but it's going to be one of them.
It's going to theaters.
Thank God.
Look what they did to Turning Red was in theater. They pulled it. But Soul
Turning Red was in theater.
It was supposed to be in theater.
Bro, Soul could have made so much more money.
And they didn't advertise it for shit. They didn't put it in theaters, obviously, because of
we didn't get to be black. We had to be blue.
Yeah, like there's a whole thing about Soul, but like the one thing I can tell you is
I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt you with Soul.
No.
They also false advertise. They kept on showing the part with the barbershop and the cuts and everybody, and then we saw them black folk for like
30 seconds.
30 seconds of the movie. I'm like, man, I thought I was gonna be seeing jazz clubs, man. Anyway, sorry, continue.
No, I agree because I love jazz as well as you do. So like, I thought the same thing. But that movie, it's a great movie. Is it one of Pixar's best? No, obviously not. But it's a really good Pixar movie. Jacob, I would say
disrespecting
top 8, 7. Like it's in that category to me. It's top 10. But it's in that category.
I agree.
It's just they are disrespecting their Pixar projects lately.
And there's an argument between Pixar and there's an argument between Pixar and Disney about how Pixar is treated via Disney. So I'm very interested to see how this goes.
They treated like the redheaded stepchild.
Well, Juju
I
even
don't know
said
why
because
that's a thing.
he saw Strange World, which is a Disney property
Yeah.
that comes out
Mhm.
this week, I
I've
think.
seen some stuff about that too, because people were
It
like,
comes out this
the way
week. Is it
Disney.
Yeah,
on the
Strange World
Disney
comes
Plus?
out this week. So it's either this week or next week, but I want to say it's this week. It's this week because I see it. I have tickets for it. Yes,
Is it
it's
on
this
Disney
week.
Plus?
No,
Oh, you
it's
have tickets
in
for it.
theater.
It's in
I have tickets for it.
That's
It
crazy.
comes out Wednesday. Here's the thing with it. The son is openly gay in it. So
Mhm.
he thinks maybe that's why they didn't promote it as much. So that way there wasn't a huge backlash towards it.
No,
we'll
that's
see.
what I
You
saw on
say
Twitter.
you say openly gay, and Disney says we give him 2 seconds tops.
No, apparently, like from what I haven't seen it. I didn't go to the premiere, but from what Juju has said, it is not a drop in the bucket. It is why it is a not a huge thing, but it's a hey, he's gay. We all know he's gay, but you know it throughout the whole film. So
Well,
maybe
and
that's why
I
they didn't
saw
plug as
something-
much.
I saw something online about that. It started with the whole like what your conversation about like treating Pixar properties,
Mhm.
but I saw something where people were like, it's really weird how like Disney has this new movie, because like legitimately you haven't heard anything about it, and we also see how they've kind of treated. I mean, look at Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Jabe, you weren't here when we talked about it, but
Mhm.
Io and Aneka, they literally just show her kiss her on the top of the head, and it's like, oh, they
Yeah.
have a relationship in the comics, but it's like they literally just like gave you like this much just so that we were like, it's there, but we don't want to get attacked about it. So like with Strange World, I've heard nothing about this movie. I've
It's
heard
like
I think
nothing.
that that's also like one of those things that Disney, you can really see it if you pay attention to it. Disney does that mainly in the movies because Disney Plus isn't huge. I don't even think it's in China, but like to cater to the China media laws,
Yeah.
they'll make it such a short scene so that way they can just kick it out and take it out immediately, and then still release Wakanda Forever in China, even though Chinese people, what's the word? Infamously don't like people of color. So I mean, like it's interesting to see that they'll take that part out, but like China will still accept and take the rest of the movie. Weird.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I'm really excited.
I think that their marketing strategy for this, in my opinion, is really hopeful because they kind of have done the same thing that they did with Frozen 1. Because when Frozen 1 first came out, there wasn't really anything out there marketing wise, except for Olaf and Sven playing on an ice lake.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like nobody really knew what the movie was about. And then the movie came out and fucking bars. Like that movie was great. And then it became this huge blow up thing that everybody knows now. But I'm hopeful that this movie can do the same of just like, it's so surprising that no one's talking about it. And that's what becomes why people are talking about it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Hope so.
I will
'Cause like that
report.
tweet I
I will
showed.
report back next week for it.
Yeah,
I'm
because that
seeing,
tweet I
like-
just showed, people were like, it better not flop just because they didn't market it. Well, if it flops, they better not say it's because of the story. Because let's be honest, they've not really marketed it.
And I saw the trailer for it finally the other day, and it's a good trailer. It's a really good trailer. Gives you a good story, background of it. So it's they're lost in this world, they're they're adventurers. He ends up finding his dad. Like it's this whole thing, but it's really good. But you were talking about Black Panther a second ago, Jordan, similar to this. We all saw our girl Nakia, our girl Lupita got on the prequel for A Quiet Place show, right? And now it just got heavier. Joseph is there, baby. Yeah.
Jacob was like, we talking about in the movie though.
I'm just saying, hey.
Glad I got the AC on in here, but I'm sweating.
Jordan, real question though. Do you think there's going to be a good plot to this show?
I don't need a plot.
You need a good plot, buddy?
No, I need plot.
Hey, yo.
One of my homies said, one of my Kev's photographer Josh Goff, he was like, she got that yibambe. Someone in my comments said Nakia, the Black Panther.
Yeah, yo, you should do that. You should read out. You should do a TikTok later today, just reading the comments of that.
Oh, I am.
I've been
collecting them. But yes, Joseph Quinn and Lupita Nyong'o will be in A Quiet Place day one.
Well,
but also everyone has been in my video about that on some. You didn't notice in the dress at the school. Look, man, yes, but on the beach scene.
Yeah,
it was skin. You could see the shapes.
Out of curiosity, just have you seen TikTok today or Instagram today? She showed her training video of how she trained on the water scenes.
Yes, someone tagged me in it. Someone tagged me in it because of my video.
Jacob, you got a little drool on the camera. You need to wipe that off. Anyways,
I watched that video about 3 or 4 times.
Speaking of being terrific, Mr. Terrific got leaked a little bit by Mr. Gunn himself.
Is it a leak if Mr. Guns did it?
I mean, look, Gunn put out a photo of Mr. Terrific the same day he put out a photo, or the day after he put a photo out of Lobo. And first of all, the only Mr. Terrific we ever got was from the Arrowverse, which was okay at best.
No,
there
it
you
wasn't.
go.
It wasn't.
I said okay at best.
Anything is better than this. It wasn't like, what was it? Like, they always made him. What I never understood is, my guy, you got your hair braided right before you had to go out every time. Because he had a full afro, and then he would braid it back. I'm like, how are you? You gotta take 45 hours before you can go out to fight crime. There's no way that you just like, hey, everybody, suit up. And then everybody goes, Green Arrow get his arrow, fucking, Diggle gets his gun. Meanwhile, he in the mirror like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there in a second, y'all.
Yeah. Dead ass.
I'm coming.
I'm excited. We're getting IP that has been out kind of from DC that they're talking about. Apparently, was like an idiot in charge of Warner Brothers, which I won't say his name out loud, has said that they do have the lineage line almost complete for the DC studios. Yeah, so
they've got a roadmap.
Look, I don't care. Just give me something and let's go and let's get on this journey together and see how bumpy this road is. But things that I'm curious if this is another bumpy road or not. I'm interested to get Jacob's take on it because we haven't talked about it. Andor is going to be on other things other than Disney Plus this week coming out. Now I got to get the dates. Hold on. It is on all week from the 23rd to the 7th of December. It will be available on Hulu. The first 2 episodes. ABC is the 23rd. FX is the 24th. Freeform is the 25th. Now, let's all be honest. They're all Disney-owned properties. But they are giving you the first 2 episodes on all of them. Thoughts?
I think it's good because it's going to give Andor a little bit more, I guess, traction. Because I know that since it's not one of their, like we keep saying, one of their big franchise things. It's not Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Yeah.
It's going to give it a little bit more traction among Star Wars fans. But the one thing I keep thinking of is that post. I think it's from Entertainment Magazine, where it has Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin, and the
Ahsoka one, and it's all of them on there.
Ahsoka, and I can't remember her name for some reason.
Keep going, it'll come to me.
Anyway, and then him as Andor, and it's like the 3 of the other Star Wars characters, biggest Star Wars characters of Ahsoka, Din Djarin, and Obi-Wan, all laughing together. And then he's kind of just off in the corner, just looking at the camera, but not.
Rosario Dawson.
He's not in the group. Yeah, Rosario Dawson. He's not in the group. And somebody tweeted and said, "They don't know my show is gas." And I was just bro, for real. Literally
Andor.
so far, like Mandalorian has been killer, but Obi-Wan, I think we can all say now that the recency bias has left. It was okay. Like it was good.
It was a
good.
nostalgia show.
Yeah,
like
it was
most,
good.
like
It was
most
good,
Star
but it was,
Wars, we know
like,
where it's going.
man, that last episode of Andor.
Yes.
I mean, golly.
Yes.
Especially because you have the king, Andy Serkis, in Star Wars for like the umpteenth time. And on top of that, his last line delivered is just the most heartbreaking.
Well, the funnier part is that Jordan and I were talking about Black Panther and what happened with Ryan Coogler and everybody. And then I watched that episode because I was behind because of
to
travel.
learn how to swim.
Yeah. So like I watched that episode after we did this because I was behind because of traveling stuff. And I saw it. I said, ain't this some bitch? Like, I know, Jordan, you're not up to date, but he couldn't leave the prison because he doesn't know how to swim.
Can't swim.
Like everybody's jumping off the side, Jordan. They're all escaping. They're just swimming out. And then
like,
Andy Serkis is like against the wall, like, I can't swim. And I was just like, no.
Like, bro, I guess you stuck.
He is. And he was the one, like, once you get to that episode, he was the one that, like, other than Andor, led the rebellion.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he would, like, it was so sad to see, like, the leader of
I'd be jumping out. I'd be like, I guess I'm learning today.
I would have just grabbed on somebody's like legs and been like, bro, just pull me, please.
Facts.
Fucking break a damn door and float on it. Shit.
Oh no, when that like
all the stuff was Imperial, so it's all metal.
Yeah.
Because they all wanted to be aesthetic and white and whatever.
Yeah.
Damn, the beds was metal too. Shit.
Everything. No more pirates, guys. No more Margot Robbie Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know why you're celebrating. I was excited about it.
I mean, it would be nice to see her do other stuff.
Disney just move on past pirates unless they're going to do the young Jack thing, but they can't do that without Johnny Depp. So it's time to move.
I thought it was going to be interesting to do like a women, because it was her directing, her starring. So like a woman forward pirate kind of movie. I thought that would have been kind of fun, something different.
Something that's also funny that you mentioned that I will say is some people who I feel like I see, if I don't remember who exactly I saw tweeted, but I feel like it's someone who I know, like I've seen recurrently on Twitter, be one to be okay with like new stuff and female led or minority led, but then they was like, she need to just be Harley Quinn, sit down. I was like
can she be? I love her Harley, but Wolf of Wall Street is what I love her in.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, not moving on.
Hey yo!
Oh, sorry. I was doing the.
You did the more. Yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not bad.
How many times have you guys heard that song just this week?
The lift me up.
No. The more going through the water song from and I apologize. I forget the actress or the singer's name. Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
I haven't heard it.
I also have heard my people call me Gan.
Yo, shout out to Joker first off.
Amor.
Shout out to Joker.
Am I crazy or did M'Baku not say it in the movie?
He said it.
He did. He did whenever
he said it in the commercials, but I don't think he said it in the movie.
He did. He said it literally right before Shuri shows up as Black Panther, like right before she drops.
Maybe
he was like,
he was so busy crying.
If these people see him as a god, he was like, do you not think we have books? Whenever he says we have books here, he had said it right before that. Yeah,
you do not call him general. Anyways, moving on. Rumor on Netflix: Greta Gerwig could be doing the first two films for Chronicles of Narnia for Netflix. Excited?
Ecstatic.
I like fell off of the Narnia thing. I watched Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I think I watched Prince Caspian, but like it was just forgettable. Was there another one after that?
There was supposed to be, but never was.
Okay, that might be why I fell off.
There was Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
And then Prince Caspian, and then Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Yes, there was the three. There's supposed to be a fourth, is what it was.
I never watched Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I remember watching Prince Caspian. And for some reason, it's one of those things where, like, I know I sat down and watched the whole thing, But if you ask me any plot point about it, could not fucking tell you. I remember plenty about
spoiler for
the
you.
first one.
Aslan is God. So
Well, yeah.
I'm excited that we're getting
Do
it.
not cite the deep magic to me, witch. Sorry.
I was there when it was written.
I hate that we're not getting the same love. Like, look, I get Percy Jackson. Understand it. But can we get some love for Narnia? Like, where's the Narnia love?
I think both of them suffer from the whole like had a chance to be so great and then just
because everybody
like
wants
they had chance. Sorry, it just like Harry Potter.
yeah.
It's one of those things where it was like it could have been on par with Harry Potter, and they just did.
Well, that was my argument. Everybody wants more franchise IP, that kind of things. And it's like we're getting it with Percy Jackson. Here's Narnia, and everyone's like, "What? Wait, what is that? What is?"
I just
Narnia?
personally think the only memorable one for me was the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I cannot remember shit worth that happened in Prince Caspian.
No, I remember all
And
of
then
it.
I
Actually, why don't you look up who played Caspian? Look up who played. Look on IMDb. Shout out to IMDb. And
Isn't it the same guy that plays Jigsaw in Punisher?
You'll see. We'll see. We'll see what he says.
Prince Caspian.
Yep.
Who the fuck is this?
Oh, hold on. I still gotta pull it up.
I mean, I said IMDb, but whatever.
Oh no, I was right. I was right. Ben Barnes, yeah.
Sorry, you did say IMDb. I guess because you wanted me to see what else he was in.
Yeah, you gotta go. Have you watched the Punisher series, Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah. Once I saw an older him, I saw him from Prince Caspian just now when he was younger, long hair, no beard. I was so confused. I was like,
also, a lot of people don't remember who plays Dick now in Titans is the same kid who was in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he was the son of Will and Elizabeth.
Yeah. So we got
okay. I do know who this is.
We got some awesome.
He was on this Good versus Evil. Sorry.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? IMDb is such a great.
Oh, never mind. I thought that was the School of Good and Evil. My bad. Anyway,
you're good. Blumhouse, great little horror film company. Does some good stuff. James Wan, great at doing horror movies. Apparently, they're going to merge their companies to be this big horror franchise conglomerate, and I am here for it.
Conglomerate of movies I won't watch.
Hey, I know you won't.
I just don't be watching horror stuff. My wife doesn't like it, so I'm just like, I'm literally just gonna. When am I? There got to be some time I find to watch Nope, and she's just gone because it's just. Well,
Nope's there, and Smile just came out as well last week, or this week. So you watch.
I need to watch Nope before it's off of HBO Max because they be pulling stuff out of nowhere.
No, they're not blowing Nope right now. I think I forget what other ones, but you and I talked about that last week. And then to end the show, it's been a long run. Sad to say. Well, end of The Walking Dead. Today is the last episode of The Walking Dead, and I've seen some of this shots for the last episodes. Very nostalgia of the first one. There's hospital scenes that are set up very similar to the first episode where Rick is in the hospital, of like him laying on the bed while his daughter's laying on the bed with the same kind of wound. There's one where they're like the bed's pushed up against a wall and like it was him, similar kind of stance as somebody else's. So they're doing little things where it's like visually the same. But I'm look, it had a good run. I think it was a good franchise. We are still getting the spinoff with Rick and what's her name?
Michonne.
Yeah, Michonne. They're doing a 6-episode spinoff.
Didn't he die? Oh, it's only 6 episodes, so it's like a little side quest thing.
Yeah, but he didn't die. He just went away.
Oh, his last
because his son died.
Okay, I knew his son died. Whenever they said he was like finally done in The Walking Dead, I thought he died.
And then apparently there's a spinoff of Daryl Goes to Paris. So apparently that's a thing.
Daryl Goes to Paris. Nah, The Walking Dead's one of those things that I'm glad it still has like a niche audience. How many seasons is it? Like, is this 9, 12?
I'll look.
82?
Keep talking, but I'll tell you.
It's just one of those things where it's like it just started running too long. Well, no, I don't know if it even started running too long. Is that like they deviate? Not there's nothing wrong with deviating from the source material, but it's like it's kind of like Game of Thrones, where like when they started deviating from the source material, there was just a drop in like understanding what was going on. Because I didn't read the comics first or anything like that. But my point being, my boy who did read the comics showed me some stuff, and when they really started deviating from the comics was when I think I kind of declined from watching without necessarily understanding why. And it's one of those.
Seasons.
It's like the
11
like the Flash.
seasons, 177 episodes.
It's got too many seasons to just. I mean, it gets really hard to stay relevant to a lot of people. Like outside of your niche core, like diehard audience, it gets harder to stay relevant to that once you get past 5-6 seasons.
I mean, it makes sense.
But now it's something that maybe one day I'll binge. I'm lying. I don't know why I'm saying that. Because again, oversaturation. There's too much out. I'm not going back.
I have some of the big box sets up here of like the actual things here. Hold on. Like
this guy.
Like I've got like the heads in the box and stuff. Like I've got it. I used to watch it religiously.
If you're listening to the audio, come to the video version of YouTube to see his stuff. We all fell off. Bro. It's too much. It's too much going on.
Yeah. So that was it.
Walking Dead is dead.
What? The Walking Dead is dead. Draft.
Yeah. Real quick. So this week's draft, we are going to do comic book movie villains in film. I said comic book movie, so I don't know why I emphasized in film of all time. And we'll do top 5. When someone says one, you can't take one. I think I went first last time.
Yeah, you go first.
I was gonna say you're at the left. So
yeah, it's you, Jordan, and then me.
This is so hard.
That's what she said.
Are we counting animated films too? Only live action.
Live action.
Anything that's in a movie, right?
Yeah, sure. Or a series, or like a.
I think you're giving him too many options. Maybe we should just
do
live action.
Like literally the god tier ones, and I'm like, how do I pick? All right, I'm just gonna say it because he won't leave my mind. Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin.
God damn it!
Sorry.
Hey man, no, he picked completely right, y'all. Because I'm sorry, to be in 2001 when he gave that monologue on top of the building when Peter was gassed up. That literally was the quote I was thinking of why he was going to be my number one.
I'm not gonna lie, the monologue he did in No Way Home.
No Way Home, even
that one for me. Like,
really,
oh, Peter, just like, oh,
Peter, what a smart boy.
Yeah, no, he was on some other stuff. He took mine. My other one's got to go to another Spider-Man villain then, because the next thought was Alfred Molina.
Really?
Doc
Okay.
Adam's
sitting happy because I know what Adam's about to pick.
Who am I going to pick?
Hey, go ahead.
I can't say it because then you'll pick it.
No, I won't because you don't have it.
No. Just go ahead and pick yours. Go ahead. Pick yours.
I'll tell you if I'm right.
If you don't say it, then he'll just use it.
The fan base.
I hate you.
What?
Tell me there's a worse villain in any comic book movie.
I'm done. All right, guys. Rate us 5 stars. We'll see you next week.
Can you pick an actual villain that was in the movie?
Killmonger.
Okay, that wasn't the one I was gonna say. So, but that's still a really fantastic one. I'm gonna say Heath Ledger's Joker.
People are gonna be so angry at me.
I argue about that because, like, obviously, I know the guy who dealt with that whole thing, right? And I do love the movie and all. That whole franchise is carried off of Heath Ledger's performance, and everyone needs to rewatch the movies. They're okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I agree. I rewatched them leading up to the Batman, and watching Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Like, Batman Begins is like
could have been so good.
So
The Dark Knight is still fantastic.
Dark Knight's great. But everyone bases
yeah,
that entire
yeah,
franchise
absolutely.
off of 35 minutes of somebody being on film.
I get what he's saying. People say that the entire franchise is goated, but really it's that The Dark Knight Rises is very good.
Yeah.
My next one gotta be Magneto.
Oh, fuck. Can you
Wait.
choose? Wait, time out. Which Magneto?
I was hoping that I'd just get to encompass both.
No. You
No.
gotta pick one or the other. You gotta pick one or the other. Two different actors.
Michael Fassbender, man. The fucking monologue in X-Men Days of Future Past when it's going back and forth.
I was really
between
hoping you'd pick
present
Ian
and
McKellen.
future. I love him because he had some dude when he saves Mystique or whatever, and he's just sitting there and he's just like to the cars, just like waving his hands and knocking off wheels and throwing. That joint was badass. But I love Michael Fassbender's monologue. So, Adam, go ahead.
Just to do it to get out of the way, I guess Thanos.
Damn, that was gonna be my next one.
All right, so we're on to number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
My life.
I mean, any day,
buddy.
it's hard, okay, because there's a lot of really good ones. Okay, just because I have a little bit of recency high, I'm gonna say Namor or Namor.
Mm-hmm. That's I think it's a good one.
I really loved his.
Jordan?
He was very good. He was very good. Am I gonna get into any? Do I feel like there's any notable DC like that? You know what's bad is in the list of the greatest of all time, there's like no DC ones right now that unless this is an MCU. This might be an MCU.
Well, it's anybody.
No. I'm saying the list that I'm looking at actually is probably an MCU one.
Oh, you looked up a list. You're going off my brain.
No, I just went to look at a list because I was like, fuck, there's too many, and now that some of mine have been taken. Shit. Why can't I think? You might have to go before me for number 3, bro.
Okay, I will. I already have. I've got my whole list. I'm good.
Oh, okay, go.
Riddler from the Batman.
I'm an idiot.
From the Batman.
I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, actually, my number 3, Riddler, but from Gotham. No, I'm wrong. Yeah, Riddler from Gotham. No, Jerome Valeska from Gotham. The Joker, not Joker. His monologues were fire. You cannot tell me his literally, I'll send you the clip that made me watch. He
basically was all 3 Jokers in that series. He really kind of was.
Well, because then like they had the whole thing with his like twin brother that came in, but like Jerome Valeska, whenever they first like when he was first introduced and they figured out that like he was the killer and he was crying and then he was just like, and he just starts laughing. That shit made me watch Gotham. I literally saw that clip and was like, I have to watch this show. So, anyway,
sorry, that was the second time because the Riddler was literally going to be my next one.
It is really hard because there's actually a lot of villains out here,
but good ones.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. Is I mean, yeah. It depends on what you mean by good. I know what my next one is. Are we on number 4 now? This is number 4.
Do I need to go
really bad? Okay, I'm just going to say Wenwu from Shang-Chi.
I think that's a good one.
I love that one.
Okay.
I can see Jordan on the other screen looking through all these villains, just like, which one?
You see in my glasses. You see in my glasses desperately. Bane, The Dark Knight Rises. I'm sorry. I know you said that it does ride off of Heath Ledger as a series, like the whole trilogy. However, Tom Hardy's, first of all, when you see Tom Hardy's actual face to then go back and watch that movie and be like, when the fuck did you look like that? Second, you think darkness is your ally. I was born in it, molded by it. Like, that shit was fire. I remember being in the theater like, when is he going to break his back? Because I knew the comics. I was just like, when is he going to break his back? Like, when is it happening? Because I know it's happening in this moment. He's getting his ass whooped. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Negan from The Walking Dead.
What?
Negan from The Walking
That's
Dead.
a good one.
That's a good one.
It's a good one because that is comic books.
You really killed my boy Glenn, and I'll never forgive him.
I'll find you.
I knew he was going to, but the thing that got me was when it came to the new season, and then they didn't have him kill him at first. So it was like, oh, okay, they're deviating from the comics, and then they killed him.
And then they were like, "No, we're sticking with the comics for this part."
Yeah, like of all times to not deviate, this is right now.
Jeez, I don't know why this is a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Simple. I literally have my 5 in my head.
We'll see mine interchange. I'm sorry, I don't keep the same list at all times, sir.
You said pick a 5. I had them instantly in my head. I went this,
Just
and
because
this.
it's one of my top 5 comic book movies. I'm gonna say Loki from the first Thor.
Okay.
This is outside of everything he does and becomes after the first Thor, but in the first Thor movie,
he was very true to the character Loki.
Yeah,
in that.
My favorite Tom Hiddleston performance of Loki.
Jordan, I generally liked him in the Avengers movie. My last one. Can I pick the same character played by someone different?
I mean, he made you, yeah.
Since they didn't get picked, Ian McKellen, Magneto.
Okay.
He was badass in them first 3 X-Men movies, bruh. He in chess, the pawns go first. Like when Pyro was trying to get up into the fight, and he was like, "Nah, let all them go and die first, bro." Gone. And then again, when he saved Mystique, I still remember watching that with my family. Like when he was like, "Crush, throw, flip the car up, stop it." Like he just was badass. He pulled the Blackbird out of the sky. Joint was crazy. So that's my 5. Sorry, I sucked at that. I had to think about all the comic book movies I've seen in my life, and then I was like, shit. Because I end up forgetting about stuff outside of like the MCU and DCEU because we get so much all the time. And so I wanted to get out of that.
So I will tell you
a bunch of my ones out of that really quickly.
I will tell you, I was going to pick Ultron as my 5th. And originally where I was going to go, he is the 6th, Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen.
Did you find him villainy in The Watchmen?
He literally offed so many people from the movie. Yeah.
No, from the movie. I was thinking about the recent
The Watchmen show. No, from the movie.
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan.
No, I got you. Yeah. How the fuck did none of us pick Homelander? I guess he's not a comic book.
I mean,
What was that comics?
Yeah.
I don't know how we didn't pick Homelander. Actually, fuck Homelander. Honestly, it's one of those things where the internet made him not enjoyable because I actually really liked him, and then everybody started being like, "But you have to understand, this is why he's better than Superman because he's actually what Superman would be. Because if I had powers, I would do what he does." It's like, okay, you're just a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, moving on. So next week, it'll be post Thanksgiving. We will come back full and have tons and tons of things to talk about for everybody. I'm seeing 7 movies this week or something like that. So this like, and that's just on things I have to
watching none. That's crazy.
Yeah. Jordan actually is going to forget 30 of them.
I got a laptop and I'm still not about to watch nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm watching a bunch of stuff. So we'll talk to everybody next week. Hope everyone has a safe and great Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, have a good week. Hey, love you both. I'll talk to everybody. And don't forget, as always,
I love you 3000.
We love you 3000. We'll see everybody later. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Sorry, y'all. I've been rocking because I got to pee. So.